I'm Ron Piercy from This Day in Metal out of Toronto.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on. This is Devin Shidaker, right?
Shidaker.
Shidaker. Big Slime? Is that a nickname?
Hold on, you broke up there for a second.
Oh, can you hear me, Devin?
Yeah.
What's that from?
What was it now that you asked?
The nickname they have, Big Slime, I saw.
Oh, it's something stupid that kind of came out of just like a meme thing.
Fair enough. But thanks for coming on with me today. You're from the Acacia strain, guitarist. You got a new album coming out October 24th on Rise Records. I listened to the album a few times. Very cool, very heavy. I played it when I went to the gym last night. It was really good to work out to.
I appreciate that. It's took a lot of work, but I think that it's just a good representation of like where we're at as a band at this point in time, and just like what we're into. We're still being influenced by stuff, and we always want to get heavier, and that doesn't necessarily mean like, all right, we're going to tune lower, we're going to play slower. It's just like we just want to make something that sounds like us, that's aggressive, that we would want to listen to. Like, I listen to it at the gym all the time too, so.
Oh, great. Awesome. Like, when I first heard the Acacia strain, this is before your time, when I heard the Impaler,
Yeah.
I like, wow, like Meshuggah-ish style, but heavier. What would you describe your sound?
What was that, the last part of that?
Well, no, how would you describe your sound?
How would I describe it? I like to think of us as at least trying to be like essentially a sonic brick wall. Just I want to be unrelenting. I want the music to be menacing. I want, even when we're playing something that is sad, I want it to be something that is like, you can still hear that there's anger there. Like, you're angry because you're sad.
Okay.
Because we've got, there's a lot of stuff we have that is depressing or, sad parts, but they'll still lead you into that, like, I'm having a bad day and I'm sad and I'm going to punch my boss in the head.
Okay. I can relate to that. I work still, so.
Yeah.
I have a boss. So, how did you guys record this album? Do you guys sit in a room together and hammer it out, or you do your parts at home and send it off?
Yeah, so essentially our process, everyone is at home because at this point, we all live all over the place. I'm in Northern California. Griffin, our bass player, is in Iowa. Vincent and Mike are still in upstate New York. And then Matt's in New Jersey. So what we'll do is we'll all kind of sit at home and just send demos, just ideas. It doesn't have to be a whole song, or most of the time it is, but it's just like, here's this part I came up with, and here's where it led me. And everybody listens to that stuff, and we all tell each other, like, here's what I liked, here's what I didn't like. And then you start to get closer to, like, once you have a lot of demos in, like we had 40 demos, I think, when we went to the studio. You start to then go, okay, these are the things that we liked. Here's what they have in common with each other. So then when you get in the studio, then you can actually write. So very few things from the demo phase like actually end up making it to like, cool, that's a song, and that becomes a song on the record. If anything, there might be a part that then gets taken and then gets changed, but a lot of it is just like, we all get on the same page with what we like, and then when we're in the studio, we can then write. And being in the same room, everybody having ideas, when you're on the same page, all the ideas are good.
Yeah.
You very rarely, when you do it that way, you don't have as many like, oh, what if we did this? Where everyone else in the room is like, what are you talking about? That sounds dumb. It usually ends up being one of those things where you go, ooh, yeah, let's try that. And then you hear it and you go, yep, that's it. Save it.
Oh, excellent.
So essentially, like we do a lot of work beforehand just so we can all get to that place where we're on the same page. And then this record, like the writing aspect of it, I think we did in like a week.
That's quick.
Um, it is, but it's also like we we've been doing this a long time. We even guys that are newer in the band like Matt and Mike, we've known for a long time, so they get along with us. But also, they've been doing it for a long time too with their own other bands. So, kind of doing that thing where you just it's kind of like when you hire a plumber and you're like, what, it took you 30 minutes to fix that, and it's like, yeah, but you're paying me for all the years it took me to be able to do that in 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
So like while we're quick, it's like we are able to kind of like put blinders on to anything that like is distracting, that like is stuff we don't want to do. We don't really go down those roads anymore where we're like, let's explore this. We don't know anything about this, and you end up with a song you don't like. We know what we want to do. We know how to do it. We know how to expand on what we do. And so it's become very efficient. And I think part of that too is that at no point in our career has this band been like, yeah, we're done. The shows aren't as good as they used to be, so we're gonna call it a day, and then do the thing where bands break up, and then 5 years later they decide like, oh, we could come back together and play these festivals and make money, and then that was big, so let's just be a band again. We've never taken years off, and we've never tried to rely on our old material. We're not out saying we're going to make the best record we've ever made, but we're not trying to. We're not trying to top anything we did, but we're also not,
Okay.
we're not trying to recreate it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I think a lot of bands make that mistake where they have something that performs well as far as like people liking it, and they go, okay, cool, we got to follow this up. Let's keep that going. And then you make the same record you made before, but it's not as good. Or it's really good, but the people that heard that record that loved it were 16 years old and they're riding around in their friend's car, and they're at that point in their lives where like whatever they were going to listen to is going to stick with them forever. You try to recreate that music, but you can't recreate like where they were. So
the time period.
It's always going to be seen as like, oh, they're just trying to make their old stuff. So we don't ever do that. People will say like, I miss the Deadwalk or I miss Wormwood, and I'm like, cool. I love that you love those. You can still listen to them. We're not going to make them again.
When you have live shows, do you incorporate a lot of the new album, new stuff?
Yeah. Which I think is another important part of us like continuing to move forward as a band is, of course, like we are lucky to have an extensive back catalog of music that people want to hear, and we will always play that stuff. But we've kept people interested, so we can still play new stuff, and we will like play a lot of new stuff. Like last year when we did the tour with Between the Buried and Me, where it was 2 nights in every city. Like first night we did Step Into the Light, and then like kind of some of the hits, and then the next night was Failure Will Follow in full, all new stuff, and went over great.
Awesome. I know you guys are out touring. Well, you have some dates in December. I saw, I guess, Albany local shows, and you were out all summer.
Yeah.
Do you have a tour set up for the new album cycle?
Right now we've got some like a support thing planned for the spring that we had. It's not our tour, we're support, so can't tell you anything about that. But
yeah, understandable.
I'm excited for it, and I think another thing that we're lucky with as a band is that we don't have to do the grind that we would have had to do a decade ago, or like a lot of bands still have to do, like that are younger in their careers, where it's like you got to put a record out and you got to tour on that thing 9-10 months out of the year and push it hard. It's like we can put the record out and be like, that's out. We're playing our holiday shows in December, and you can come and we'll play a lot of that stuff there, and we'll do some touring eventually. But especially like the COVID era kind of proved to us
Yeah.
that we are a band that we can put stuff out and people will listen to it and be stoked on it without us needing to
To
go
get out there and tour.
yeah, like we don't need to go, and like we have a lot of people that know who we are, and people are still finding out who we are from the streaming platforms where it'll suggest like, oh, if you like this, maybe you'll like Acacia Strain.
Yeah.
So we're not out doing the heavy grinding that you have to do when you're like a younger band to get people to know who you are, and that's a great place to be, and I'm thankful to be there.
Yeah, very thankful. I heard you guys, the first time I ever heard you guys was on Liquid Metal
Yeah,
back in the day. And I know they play you guys, not as much as they should, but they should play you a lot more.
I mean, I have nothing but respect for them. Jose and Sean, just they have always been like huge advocates for our band, and the support they've given us over the years is just great. Like when we did Slow Decay, like they played Chinamasta like felt like once an hour. When we
Awesome.
did when we also put out It Comes in Waves, and that's one big song. Like we broke it up into pieces, but it's one big song, and they would play parts of it. They've played Observer before, that's one song that's a half an hour long, and they're just Jose and Sean both like live and breathe heavy metal.
It's true. Yeah,
So
Sean
it's
the
like,
Butcher,
yeah,
he's the type, the music that you guys play, that's what he loves.
yes,
When you hear what he talks about, the bands he talks about, you guys are one of them. And
yeah,
Jose just loves all metal. He is just a metal maniac. He's awesome.
yeah. They're like, the whole like metal ambassador thing. Like, I support that 100% because he's the guy that like he knows his shit. He
Yep.
cares about it. It sucks how many people there are that like have this like they want to be like, oh yeah, like I'm all about like heavy metal and whatever. And then I only like these bands that are, like this or like this. Jose and Sean, like they like, oh, it's heavy. I love it.
Exactly.
Let's
Yeah, they're
support
open
it.
to everything.
Let's lift it up. Like, Jose gave Vincent his own show on there for a while. It was like a little segment. It was called Vincent, What Band Is That? And every week
Oh, I
it'd be like,
remember that. I forgot all about that.
here's a new thing. And I guess the more higher ups at Sirius were like, what's going on here? Like, because they wanted to keep like, they want to play their Metallicas and their Pantera and all that stuff. And it's like, I love Metallica. I love all those bands. But it's like, they were like, okay, listen, you're taking up too much airtime with this. So they were going to cut it down to like, Vincent was just going to introduce a band. And then it was just like, if I can't do the little interview thing and it's like all that, it's like, it's kind of a waste of time.
Yeah.
But like they push for us so hard, and they push for young bands so hard.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like even Matt Heafy on his show, the Chaos Hour, he gets a lot of new bands out and some heavy stuff also too.
And it's so important because, and it's weird to think like at this point, we are an older band. Like our band has been around since 2001. That was 24 years ago, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And the bands that are older than us, a lot of them, like the ones that were big, the ones that did it really big, a lot of them aren't as supportive of the younger bands, and it's strange. But if you look at it, you rarely see like these bigger like bands with like a huge legacy. Like when they do a tour, it's like they're going to take out bands that you already know and already listen to. They're not showing hey, here's this new band, check them out. The
I agree there.
the one exception to that is Metallica.
Yeah.
They
Ice Nine Kills.
yeah, they will take smaller bands out. They will support smaller bands. Like there was at For the Children, the festival, like around Christmas time in LA last year. On Broken Wings played. Rob Trujillo's there posting videos of him playing, and I'm like, that's just insane. And then we played Sonic Temple in Columbus, and Suicidal and Metallica both played that day, and Suicidal played the same time as us. I'm like, fuck, I don't get to watch them.
Yeah.
After we play, like I go and I'm watching Mastodon, and I go back to our bandwagon, and like Ty Trujillo's just on there because like he likes the band, and then he introduces us to his dad, and he's like, oh, we wanted to come watch you guys, but Suicidal was playing the same time, and I'm just like, my brain is melting in my head because I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
That's awesome.
But a lot of those bands just, here's the same bands you've seen us play with forever, which I get. Like, it's fun to tour with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, now, like, bands like ours that are getting older, it's like, it's so crucial, like, to keep people coming and finding out new bands.
So who would you like to take out? Who would you like a young band? Who would you like to take out?
Oh,
You don't have to know them. You don't have to know them. Anybody that you think would be a good fit with you guys.
Mongrel, who's, I'm wearing the hat right now, but they played our Sadness and Failure Fest, which was like the last show of our last tour. Band from San Diego, they're killer. There's so many good bands coming out, and it's hard to keep track. Like when it is time, when we're doing like a headliner, that's when we start to like throw band ideas out, and it's like, it's so hard to narrow it down because like obviously you have to have a band that's big enough to be like direct support and all that stuff, but like the openers, like we put so much thought into like, okay, who would be sick for this? What bands do we like? Because it's always like we want to take these bands out because we know like this band is going to get popular and they deserve to, and if we can give them that like first push to get them in front of more people that they might not normally play in front of, because our fans will then see like what we see and be like, oh, this band's sick. And there are so many bands now that are like, oh yeah, the first time I saw you guys, you were on tour with Acacia Strain. And it's like, I don't need any kind of like, yeah, we did that. I don't need that, but it's just like, I like knowing like, oh, we were able to help. And
like a big brother, brother to some of these bands.
Yeah. And it's like, we want them to get big. Like 2016, we did a headliner and we took out a band called Knocked Loose.
Oh, wow.
And the first time we saw them and played with them, they were a local band. They opened, we played in Indianapolis and they came up from Louisville and opened the tour like as a local support. And we watched them, we're like, this band is sick. And we're like, we're going to play together. Like we're going to take you guys on tour at some point. It's going to happen. And they were busting their asses, and we were like, yeah, let's do this. We took them out. And then Vincent said on that tour, hey, next time we tour together, we will be supporting you guys, which they, the most humble guys on earth, are like, what are you talking about? And then sure enough, 2019, because it was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
We get the call like, hey, do you guys want to be direct support? And we're like, absolutely, we do. And now they're going on tour with Metallica.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they deserve every bit of that. They work their asses off. They care about what they do. They're always taking out bands that you might not have heard of and giving them a platform. They get it. Like, if there's one band out there that I would like say like I would ride or die for, it's Knocked Loose.
Okay. I thought their performance on Jimmy Kimmel was amazing.
Yeah, they're
Really got their name out there too. You know, it's on like a late show, but everybody heard it. Everybody
yeah,
listened to it.
and it's showing like, hey, this stuff is legitimate. This has like you don't have to be a pop artist to have mainstream appeal. People are expanding their horizons and going like, oh wow, I like all kinds of stuff. This band is cool. I didn't think I would like, a band with like guttural vocals in a spot or
Yeah.
screaming, and then they're like, oh, that's really cool. And one band does it and it lifts everybody up.
It's awesome. So tour wise, have you toured everywhere in the world, or you got some places you'd like to go to?
I have been not all over the world. I haven't done South America, but I've gone to Australia a few times, to Japan, um, Canada and US more than I can count.
Yeah.
Europe, UK. I personally haven't been to Scandinavia. I would like to get up there. I did on the last tour. We did Copenhagen, Denmark. So that was cool. But I do want to hit like Sweden and Norway at some point. I'd like to play. Yeah, I'd like to play Iceland.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, New Zealand. I've been there. It's
Philippines
crazy.
the Philippines would love you guys.
Yeah, I know, and the band a couple years before I joined, I know they did Southeast Asia.
Oh wow!
And from my understanding, it's like it's chaos, but it's so cool. So, but I'm like very much like the Wayne's World thing. Like if you book them, they will come. Like
yeah,
book us somewhere, we're there.
Oh, that's awesome! I like that attitude. Do you have a favorite venue to play?
I've got a few. I love playing for like a bigger room. I love playing the Palladium in Worcester, which is like the last show we played on that tour was Worcester Palladium. That's kind of there in Empire. We're doing like the holiday shows. Those are basically like our two home bases. But Worcester, that's where they do like New England Metal and Hardcore Fest, all that stuff. So it's just like playing there is special. For like a small venue, I really like Chain Reaction in Anaheim. It's one of those places that's just a lot of fun. Small room, and then you're LA adjacent, so you always get to see like a lot of friends because there's always somebody there. And then for like if we're talking DIY stuff, Preserving Underground in near Pittsburgh. It's in New Kensington, Pennsylvania. It's a church, and they've got like a hardcore museum downstairs, and they've got like a really great record and like vintage merch store. But the shows are killer. AJ, who runs the venue, like he cares about it. He cares about the music, the scene, the bands. So like it's very DIY, but it's not like, I don't want to shit on people that are, DIY, but there's so many venues where you're like, I'm glad that there's a place to have shows, but it's like, for the love of God, fix the toilet or something like that. Like where you're like, this building honestly should be condemned. Let's play shows there. But Preserving Underground, it's sick. It's great. Like it's clean. The show, you're playing in like the main room there, and you're just in a church. There's like a big stained glass window, and you're like, this is so cool. Off the top of my head, those are probably my three favorites.
Oh, very cool. Have you ever had a band take you guys out, like a really big band take you out, or has it not happened yet?
Lamb of God.
Oh, that's huge.
They've taken us out twice. The first time was 2014, and it was crazy because they are That's another band that deserves every bit of like success that they have.
Mhm.
They treated us as equals. There was no like, we're the headliners. Like you guys, we have 4 green rooms and you guys can have this closet here. It was like anything, if you guys need anything to eat, anything on our rider, you can have it. The first show, we get done playing and we're frantically trying to tear down because we're like big about like we want changeover during a show to go on time.
You can go smooth.
Yeah, we don't fuck around.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to tear down and one of their techs starts like, he's like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, I'm trying to go fast. Well, don't worry. And he's like, no, you guys just played. Go shower. We got it. And like
Oh wow.
their techs are just tearing our stuff down, loading it out. Not because like they need us to hurry up or anything like that, but because they're just like, hey, like we don't have anything better to do, so we will help out. You guys go relax. You're sweating, and it was just crazy. The whole crew for Lamb of God is just great. And then when they wanted to take us out again, like almost a decade later, of course we're like, yes, absolutely. And it was the same scenario where it was like everybody treats you like equals. Like you're there because they respect what you do. They want to be your friend. Like at one point, this company Gel Blasters that makes these little like toy guns that shoot like kind of like the water beads or whatever.
Yep.
Randy had played with one and he like hit them up, was like, hey, can I get one of these? And they sent him like a whole pallet of them.
Oh,
So he
God.
comes in our green room and just gives us all these gel blasters and he's like, we're at war. And so all the bands, like it was like us, like that show was us and Lamb of God, Frozen Soul, and we're all just like shooting these gel blasters at each other and they kind of sting. So it's like everyone's like, oh fuck. But like that's the kind of band that they are. They're like, we want to have fun with you guys. We're not just like, some bands where they'll play and then they go lock themselves in their green room or they go on their bus and like you never see them again.
Yep. That was the 80s.
Yeah, I've heard. I'm not going to name names, but there's one singer who used to sing for a really big, maybe the greatest punk band ever, who then went on to do a solo thing and he'd tour with bands or whatever. And then at the end of the tour, like his tour manager would let the bands know, like if you'd like to take a picture with him, you can. And it's like,
Wow.
but I don't know, still love the guy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah. Let's talk Super Bowl. Should Metallica do the Super Bowl halftime show?
I think it'd be great. I don't think it'll ever happen. If it does, that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't think it will happen either, but I'd love to see it happen.
Yeah, if it does, if the Raiders ever get to the Super Bowl, which I would love that. Like, Metallica has to play the Super Bowl. That's just got to be the thing.
Is that your team?
Yes. We after last night, it's when I don't know when people hear this, but it is Tuesday the 16th, and that Monday the 15th we played and lost. We threw 4 interceptions, and we're looking like we usually do. Bad.
Well, they're in Vegas now, so it's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
iffy about that. It's when they'll play, and last night it looked good because usually when they play home, like since they moved to Vegas, it's like you'd see a sea of the other team's jerseys because people are like, "Oh yeah, our team's playing in Vegas. Let's take a vacation and we'll." So it's like it's good for Vegas tourism, I guess, but like then you wouldn't see as like you're like, where are all the Raiders fans? And now I guess this year they're kind of starting to show up. Doesn't help that the tickets are like 5 times the price that they used to be when they played in Oakland.
Oh, really? Oh, because Vegas. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, they're not cheap. And like that new stadium is beautiful. I haven't been inside of it. I've been near it, but yeah, they gotta make the money back on that thing.
Yeah. So are you just a big football fan, or you like other sports?
Um, I like basketball. Um, I like of all of the like professional team sports. I would say football is number one. Because basketball, there's so many games.
Yeah.
Um, and so many of them, like it doesn't really matter
It
much
doesn't
until you
matter.
start
Yeah.
to get to the finals, and you're like, "Ooh, this is exciting." Um, and the same with baseball. Like I like baseball, but I'm also like, when we start to get close to the World Series, I'm like, okay, let's pay attention.
Who's your team in baseball?
Um, Throw up between the Reds and the Dodgers. Reds because I'm from Ohio originally, and that was like
Yeah.
my team growing up. And I feel like in the last 6 years or so, I've gotten more into sports. My wife's a huge sports fan, especially football, and I didn't care for football that much growing up because as a kid, nobody ever explained the rules to me, and when you don't know what's going on, you're just like
You're lost.
you're like this sucks, and the Simpsons are supposed to be on, and instead I'm watching this game. Um, but now that I'm like, oh, I understand what's going on, and I understand how like these two teams that are on our team, like this can affect us if this team loses, and you're like, oh, cool.
Wow.
Um, so I'd say football's number one, basketball second, um, and then baseball third.
I'm off different than you. I'm Canadian, so hockey is
Yeah,
our number one.
yeah. I like hockey. The Blue Jackets are my team, which terrible. Just
Yeah. Well, what happened last year with losing, the way Johnny Gaudreau, like that's
yeah,
the saddest thing in the
very
world.
sad.
But give it time. Columbus will
Yeah,
be good.
yeah. First year when they started, like we were going to games, and so whenever someone is like, oh, like there's people will be like, oh, they're still like a new team, and I was like, I was a child. Like I was in middle school and they started, and I'm like, I'm a middle-aged man now. Like they've had time. Be good.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Leaf fan, so we haven't seen the Stanley Cup since before I was born. I'm
Yeah,
56, so
understandable.
I still watch them. Still love my sports.
Yeah, our our merch guy and photographer Stu, he is diehard hockey fan, and he plays hockey too. Like kind of beer league stuff.
That's what I play. Yeah,
But
it's beer league.
he's he's also like when we're like loading out, he's the one that's just grabbing everything, and it's like, oh, he's a hockey player, and he's just all strength.
Yeah, like back in the day, the hockey players, all the strong ones, were like farmers back in Saskatchewan or something like
Yeah,
that.
but yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
crazy. A
awesome.
very very intense sport. I can't imagine playing it because I can't skate for shit.
It's just a fun sport, and like we used to have a rule when we go to beer league. If the beer guy doesn't show up, we don't play. We don't dress. We just sit there, wait for the beer guy. Then, oh, beer guy's here. Put equipment on, go play, then come back and get nice cold beers afterwards.
Fair.
That's why it's called beer league.
Yeah.
But I've taken a lot of your time. I'm sorry if I went too long.
Oh, no worries at all.
On I can't wait for you guys to get released this album. Everybody go out, buy it, stream it, download, whatever you do, get it. The new Acacia strain out October 24th.
Thanks so
And
much.
like I said, it's a great album. The last song with the woman sounds really cool too.
Yeah, I'm into that. That's I don't know if you've heard the band Blackwater Holy Light.
No, I
But
have not. That's
that
her.
is yeah, it's just really good stuff.
I'll check her out for sure. I like that stuff. But Devin, thank you very much for your time. Good luck with the new album. And when you roll through Toronto, maybe we'll hook up and buy you a beer
Awesome. Thanks so
or
much.
two. All right. Thanks, Devin. Take care.
Yeah.
Be good.